You're now listening to Straight from the Horse's Mouth podcast.
It's the blackout, Rory got the back out, showing my black ass, engine in the glass house, started in the crack house, Obama went the back route, killed Bin Laden, another 4 up in the black house, still got the max out, pull a mask down like a mascot, still trick with bitches, I with money, her with ass shots, good had room for one more, I took the last spot, re-up gang Peter, nigga, yeah, done hit the jackpot, whole nother level, then you add fame, that's a whole nother devil, legit drug dealer, that's a whole nother bezel, the carbon Automar, that's a whole nother metal, but still keep it ghetto. Behind the scenes, pull strings like Geppetto. The gun blow steam, whistle like a tea kettle. Running like the rebels, you an LV sports shoe on a pedal. I let you niggas settle, yeah. Trouble on my mind, I got trouble on my mind.
Yes, welcome to another episode of Straight from the Horse's Mouth podcast. I, 1/3 of your host, you can call me Black. As always, I am never alone, never by myself. I got my squad, my crew, my knuckles, my rat-a-tat-tat on that ass. To my left, I got Sean P.
Yeah, we got a lot of energy today. Let's get it.
Let's get it. To my right, I got Lean.
What up?
And I'm so sorry his New York Knicks didn't get the number 1 pick. But we will keep it pushing.
I ain't mad at number 3. As a matter of fact, I got something to say about that later on the show about getting a number 3 pick.
Yeah. As always, you can join the conversation. Just hit us up on our social media platforms. On Facebook, you can hit us up at Horsemouth. On Instagram and Twitter, you can hit us up at SFTHM Podcast. That's SFTHM Podcast. Let's get it in, fellas.
Yeah.
Lee, who was that we was listening to? I love that intro, bro.
Yeah. That was Pusha T.
Push. He just recently had a birthday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Oh.
I just heard another dope single from him, too, that we probably going to get in at some point in the next couple weeks. But that's featuring Tyler, the Creator.
Oh, yeah. I love Tyler.
Trouble on My Mind is the name of the
Tyler.
single. Released in 2011 off the album Fear of God 2, Let Us Pray. So
that's what's up.
Yeah, dope. I definitely like Pusha.
Yeah.
That's what's in the crate. Once again, Pusha T.
I love that beat, too.
Yeah,
the beat
it was
just
tight.
Like,
It was tight.
It
was definitely tight. P.
Yo.
My brother.
What's up, man?
My mellow, my man.
Yeah, man. First of all, we know the secret now. We got to get wings early to Tony, man. We ain't start the show off. Please go back and rewind all the shows. We ain't start off with this much energy in a while, and the secret is wangs.
Wangs.
Man. So, yeah, man. Shout out America's Best Wings. Starting this thing off right.
So what we drinking on, bro?
Man, we got this Woodford Reserve, man, and it's we've had this before. It's another oldie but goodie, man. I didn't go to any of the exquisite liquor stores that we have, frequented before. I went to one that had all the wines out front and the liquor was behind the counter. So you didn't have
order for behind the glass.
Yeah, I was in there for like 10 minutes trying to look around their shoulders, man. So. Yeah, I didn't have a lot of wiggle room with
That's
choices.
All right. That's all right. You picked a good one.
Woodford is that's always a good choice.
That's always it does its job.
Yeah, it has a lot of low notes.
It definitely does.
I used to get more liquor specific, but I ain't been liquor specific in a while. So yeah,
that's all right. Hey, anytime you come by with wings and whiskey, you don't gotta be liquor specific.
Yo, P came in happy. I saw the wings when he came in. And it's funny because, all right, so when P came in, right, I go to the door, I get him, I see him, I'm like, oh, P bought the wings. And then Black is telling us a story. Yeah. I see the liquor, I'm like, hold on.
Yeah, liquor and wings.
He had the liquor and the wings.
That nigga P didn't even touch the ground. He just floated in.
I was like, I got it today. Yeah.
That's what's up. So, Lane mentioned a story that I wanted to share this 2 weeks ago. And I was kind of embarrassed to say this, especially to tell y'all, because I've already had issues with my ankle and stuff like that, right? So 2 weeks ago, I get out of bed. Every time I get out of bed, I still think I'm living my glory days of playing football, right? So I bump up into stuff like that to the wall and juke the, you know what I'm saying? juke the clothes on the floor. Marcy, don't kill me. So I juke left, then I juke right, then I juke left again, and I hit slam dead into the wall, right? And if you
play some defense.
you know what I'm saying?
The wall.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, the wall, the wall made the Pro Bowl on that tackle.
Yeah, man.
So, you ever been, if you played sports, or especially if you played any kind of contact sport, you get hit, and there's a certain level of pain that you feel, and then after a while, it'll subside, right? So I hit my elbow, I hit the pain, and it subsided. I didn't really think about it. I just went on through my day, the whole bullshit. You just walk it off, tough it out, right? So the next morning, I wake up, and I could barely move my arm. It was a little bit of swelling, but it wasn't too bad. I still, next day.
Which elbow is the left or the right?
It's the left, right?
Okay, so you can still write and all that good
I can
stuff.
I can still write. I'm right hand dominant and stuff like that, right? And so eventually, we did the show last week, right? And I ain't say nothing. I was in pain like a motherfucker. I was like, but inside I was like, just hurting. So I go to the doctor, maybe like 3 days ago, 2-3 days ago. And, he looks at me and he touches it, and, examining it. I'm like, He's like, all right, some x-rays. Waiting for the x-rays. We still talking and stuff like that. He comes back and was like, look, man, he got this look on his face. Because if you go to Kaiser, they give you your x-rays that day, right? They don't bullshit. It's not like you go to any other place, you got to wait a day and shit like that. They x-rays today. So he looks at me with this weird look. He was like, man, your arms are big. What was you doing to create that much force? I was like, what you mean?
You tell him I was juking in the bedroom.
I ain't really want to tell him that. And
I needed 5 more yards.
you know what I'm saying? That was for the championship.
Right.
You just shut the fuck
Oh,
up,
what
give
were
me
you
medicine, and
doing?
put my ass back out there.
Juking.
Damn, don't you know? I got endorsements to think about. So anyway, he looks at me. He was like, "Yeah, so you got a hairline fracture." I was like, "A what?" He was like, "You got a hairline fracture in your elbow." I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I'm thinking,
Cut it off, Doc. Go ahead. You do what you
Never
gotta
want me to
do.
use it again.
hey, I mean, how long I got to live, man? And my thing, I was like, oh, fuck, I got to get surgery and all that shit. And I was like, nah, I don't got to get surgery for that. I got to get a cast. I was like, yeah, so what I'm going to have to get a cast? He was like, I was like, what you mean,
I said, you got to get the hell out of this office. What you got to get.
I was like, what you mean, I was like, I pay a lot of money. You mean to tell me I can't afford a cast? I mean, cash should come with my coverage. And he was like, nah. What you need to do is I'm going to give you a sling, and it's going to have to heal by itself. It's a hairline fracture. Right? We can't put a cast on it. You know what I'm saying? You're just going to have to get a sling. And I've been kind of embarrassed to wear the sling because I didn't want to have to answer all these questions of being embarrassed of.
But was beefing about having a cast.
Right. I want a cast.
Yeah. So
Yeah, people can't sign no sling, huh?
I know, right?
Well, the cast would have made it look like,
Yeah.
Sure, like,
You know what I'm saying?
like,
It was
take it
5 of them. I
serious.
beat them off and stuff
A
like
sling
that.
is like, what happened, man?
What happened?
Sling look like an old man that keeps re-injuring himself and has that sling for like 10 years.
Right. Yeah, I ain't never seen no sling. And I was like, man, yeah.
Yeah. So that's what happened to me. I got a fractured elbow, a hairline fractured elbow.
I need you to have your sling on next time I see you. How long you supposed to wear your sling?
Well, I go back. I'm supposed to wear it for 2 weeks. I go back, and he wants to see because the ideal is the only way it's going to really heal is if I don't move it that much. But I'm stubborn, so I'm gonna wear it for 2 weeks, and then I'm gonna go back, and if it heals, I don't have to wear it anymore. And he gave me some like ibuprofen for pain and stuff like that.
Some calcium.
Nah.
Drink some milk, man. Some milk and magnesium.
I am taking vitamins though.
Flintstone vitamins don't count, man.
You mean to tell me the gummy vitamins don't
That
count?
don't count, man. I'm taking vitamins, man.
I mean, but I heard it was a million strong and growing.
No, look at the shape of the dude. Like, how you Flintstone got a big old round flared face. Like, how you ain't gonna get healthy, eat nobody fat. But anyway, Yeah, man.
So that's what happened to me this week. I'm here, and I'm barely here, and I had to make sure, since I knew I was going to be drinking, I had to make sure I ain't take no painkillers. So I started off hurting, but a couple of shots of our whiskey of the day that we drinking,
Yeah.
Woodford will numb the pain.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Wilford, we will numb the pain.
He done put an L in your name, Wilford.
Woodford. You know Wilford is good anytime you put an L in there now.
Yeah, Wilford. That's how you know we get proper Wilford.
So that's what's been going on with me this week.
Man,
Did I check in or no?
nah, neither of us checked.
Oh.
None of y'all.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Nah, go ahead.
I know I just sucked the wind
I
out.
thought a lot happened.
Nah, my week, I got so much going on at work. I mean, my week was a blur. Then I'm sick. Well, my whole house was sick. So, you know, if Lincoln come home with a runny nose, then we all sick at some point. So we all sick. But still grinding. I got so much going, so many deadlines at work. So I just been doing that. But today was like a real. So on Saturdays, it's usually just me and the girls because the brothers do therapy on Saturday. So today we got up. You know, I made a big breakfast.
Okay.
We went to the park, hung out.
Full
Okay.
daddy
I mean,
mode right
yeah.
there.
They ran a bunch of errands. Well, here's a good thing. So I was scheming. I was like, all right, so we go to the park.
Yeah.
Lincoln and Val gonna fall out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Mo, she's good. So after we went to the park, they slept. Went to the
Big
cleaners.
breakfast. You just set
Went to
them
the
all
super.
up.
I sat him in the car at the supermarket. Like, all right, y'all stay in the car. Morgan in there. Lock the car. Do the shopping. So all errands are done.
That's what's
So
up,
tomorrow
man.
we can just chill. Don't have to
That's
go by
what's
the
up.
ground. You know what I mean? So, man. So that's my little.
That's
breather.
It sounded like you were setting him up. He's like, I had a big breakfast, took him to the park. I was like, yeah, he about to get him.
It's funny because I was here. I was so tired because I've been up since 6:30. It was when they get up. When the Rellas leave, they wake
You
up.
on.
And Val now,
I don't know how
she's
you do it,
older,
bro.
so she's now talking like constantly.
Right.
Usually you put the pacifier in her mouth. She quiet. Now she humming over the pacifier. I'm like, is you mad? Is
Right.
you happy? Is you doing?
Right.
And you take it, or she just talking.
Right.
So it was no getting no sleep. I was like, I put the pacifier in. She kept humming. I said, man.
Right.
I take it out, give her some milk. She finished the milk, start humming. I said, oh,
Right.
man. So yeah, so I was like, all right, let me take these girls out. It was nice today too.
Yeah, it was real nice.
Yeah. And I know Lincoln usually acts up when we about to leave the park. But it was started getting hot. I was like, all right, time to go. Yo, she grabbed Morgan's hand and started walking to the car.
It's
She
time
was
to
like,
go.
it's time to go.
Yeah. You right, Daddy.
Right,
I was wondering.
Exactly.
Yeah,
So,
man.
My last update, so, you know, my construction is almost, for the basement is almost
Okay.
done. So,
your mom's still coming.
yeah,
in,
my
right?
mom should be, I'm hoping that by June she'll be moved. So the funny thing is now we getting close. And she came here last week to watch my daughter. She watches Val.
Right.
So she came to the house instead of me dropping her off. So I'm like, all right, you know, it's time to start packing this and that. I'm like, you packed anything? She like, nope. I'm like, what are you waiting on? Like, you know, it's only a couple weeks left. So
Right.
I think she's ready to go, but I think it's still going to
She
take
like
a
her own
minute.
space.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yeah. Nobody want to give up that.
So first she said, all right, you know, we got to have the shed. So we bought the shed. So the shed is actually out on the side of the house. Yo, that sucker's 1,200 pounds, right? So it got delivered. My mom's was here. So I'm always thinking about who's gonna put it together. So I tell her, look, ask the mover when he comes, you know anybody who puts sheds together? A lot of times it'll prompt them to be like I do. You can pay them a little couple $100 to put it together. She was mad because they was late. Now, she didn't have anything to do. This is my mom's, right? She watching the baby, right? She got to be here till I get home. Instead of coming at 3, he got here at 4. So she was pissed because he was late, but she ain't had nothing to do. So she was so pissed she didn't ask him. So now we got a 1,200-pound box at the entry of the yard that I can't move. So now we got to find someone to put it together now. Like, you know what I mean? So that's the next mission, to find somebody to put together this shed, because that's been her excuse. Like, you ain't got no shed. I can't bring nothing over. I'm like, the shed is for the lawn mower.
Overstock
You
stuff.
got no
Yeah,
shed.
You ain't putting no clothes in there. You ain't putting no furniture. So I'm thinking,
No old TVs.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm thinking, she's scheming right now. We gonna have a bunch of that stuff in there. So
Buying time.
So we gonna see. So I'm gonna try to have this shed put together this week and then start moving her stuff here.
I got you.
Yeah, so that's my update.
That's what's up, man. Well, you talking about Val, which is I guess that's the first time I was hearing you calling her Val. Before it was Valentina. Now she got a nickname.
Yeah.
Well, Val is what? Yeah, we call her Val, but I also call her Twinkie.
Okay.
That's my nickname for her. But everyone in the house, I got nickname. I told you I got nicknames for all of them. So yeah, so she's Val for short, but I call her Twinkie. That's just my thing with her.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
You got a nickname for Lane? Not for Hayes.
No, I mean I call him Bam Bam sometimes. 'Cause he big like little Bam Bam off of what you call it?
The
Flintstones. Yeah, and Tanae calling him
Eat
Booby.
nobody fat Flintstones.
Yeah. So yeah, man. So when you're talking about Val talking, it reminded me of Hayes. So I was sleeping in the basement, and Tanae came down there. And she was like, "He just said Dad. He said Dad. Come upstairs." I was like, she said I was trying to record it, but I couldn't get it or something like that. So I was asleep. So I was like, all right, and I ain't go up there. Anyway, he ain't saying no more, but he was saying it up there with them. But I guess I had missed it, but. I felt bad because I didn't go up the stairs right away, but I figured if he was still saying Dad, she would have had it recorded, so I didn't really miss nothing. To be 100% sure, man, because it just sounded like some shaky stuff. Like when she came down there, the way it was presented, she was like, "He just said it. Come upstairs." It was, anyway.
They do say that. Val said Dada, but
right.
She doesn't say Dada to mean me.
Right.
She said that. That's how
the
Langston
first.
did.
Yeah, that's the first pronunciation I think that they can make. So that's what they say.
Bye
right
now.
Oh yeah.
He's saying what?
Well, he's saying he'll turn his hands like this and go bye bye. I'm like,
that's what's up.
My little
Now you gotta teach him to say peace.
right.
Throw the two hands up. You know what I mean? That's next level.
Right.
Or 1/3 of your hosts. I'm gonna teach him how to say that.
Exactly. 1/3 of your hosts. But yeah, man. So he was trying to do the dad thing. I missed that, but yeah. He had his first little bout of diaper rash. I guess I'm giving you the baby update now. So that was rough. So we was trying to have him like with so got us some cloth diapers, and also when we had him without diapers. You know, so he'd just be out there airing out, man, and
that's dangerous.
Oh boy,
that's dangerous.
We had an encounter this morning.
I done fucked up many a clothes.
I had an encounter. I had a little pillowcase around them because we done ran through all the towels, so we was washing stuff. So anyway, I had a pillowcase. He had gone through the pillowcase. And it was on me, the pillowcase. So I just walked calmly to the shower, and everybody. He was still in my arms, so we all just got in the shower, and I had my clothes on and everything because that's what really needed to be washed. But it was quite the sight.
Doesn't it amaze you like a kid could do it, and your you just go, you'll get mad. Yeah, imagine if some human excrement got on. Yeah, you might be ready to.
Because, you don't want to touch it. You don't want to touch it. You act like it was toxic or whatever. I mean, because it is toxic, but baby, it's just like.
It's fresh. It's
whatever. There we go. Yeah, all right.
The funny thing, that reminded me real quick. So, during the week, I forgot what day it was, but Val was sleeping with us. And then arose the next day. And I knew this happened because, like, when the kids wake up, I try to act like I'm asleep. Because Rose will get up and do anything. I'm like, I'm tired. So I heard her say, no, like, damn, you know. So apparently Val and the switching of the diapers peed in the bed. So I was like, I just wiped it down, put a towel.
And slant cap, put back
and
to
then
sleep.
The next day she was talking to me and I said, oh yeah, I heard you say. She was like, oh, you was up? Like, and you ain't get up?
No,
she was like, yeah, we got to wash the sheets. But it was just like.
Right.
baby piss, like,
Right.
you know, it is what it is. Throw a towel
Right.
over it and go back to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just crazy. Like, that type of thing happens.
All
Exactly.
the time, all the time.
So they said she got awakened by that the other day because he was sleeping with her and with no clothes on, and she said she had pee in her face when she was waking up. Yeah,
Wait,
that's how she. No, that's how she woke up at like 5:30 in the
Oh,
morning.
but she sleeps with no diaper?
That was because of the diaper rash. So she had we try to cover, but I guess over the time he gets uncovered and So that's how she woke up. That was her alarm clock Friday morning.
The key to diaper rash is when you have diaper rash, I don't know what creams y'all use.
Destin, and then it's another
We use
prescription
Destin,
cream.
but they'll say to do with the A&D plus the Destin on top of it. And it's really just about changing the diapers real frequent. Like they can't be in it long, so like every 15 minutes change the diaper, change the diaper, because they typically could go away in like a day and a half of like a lot of lotion and just changing a lot. So
This is the first time, this is his first little bout of it, and she caught it early the first time, but then she got it and it went away and then it came back and it was just like it looked raw when it came back, man.
Yeah, every baby, I think we've been lucky enough for Val not to have it, but Lincoln has had diaper rash a couple times.
And he was chilling with it. Was Lincoln like, is it a painful? It looked painful, but
It's
he
painful.
was just chilling.
It's painful. It's painful. She it was like kind of raw, so you got to be real gentle.
Yeah.
Well, at least Lincoln will go off,
Yeah.
like he'll be touching it.
Oh boy, be chilling.
We've been fortunate with no diaper rash. I don't know how we got that lucky, but
Right.
yeah. I mean, he go through his bouts where he spit up and stuff like that. But at 16 months now, which wow, my boy's getting old. No, all that stuff seemed to pass. And right now, I'm worried about getting my finger bit when I try to feed him because he's eating table food and he got like tooth coming in and he's just my little man all over the place.
Old boy not spitting up no more, man. I guess let me talk about something fun. What happened in my life that was fun? I got pulled over by the cops twice within the last month again.
Jesus Christ, what happened?
Man, it'd be nothing. So the first time I was going to Virginia and I made eyes with the cop on it was on 395. I saw him, he saw me, then he came behind me, rode behind me for like 2 miles, and I got off at my exit where I was going, then he pulled me over and he said my tent was too dark.
Huh.
Yeah, I was like, man, this is the first time I ever heard that. You just pulled me over for nothing.
Yeah,
And I asked him why he
It was a
followed me for
Virginia
so long.
cop?
Yeah.
Hey.
And I asked, why'd you follow me so long? He said, I didn't want to, but I had to pull you over where it was safe. That's a lie. You was trying to see.
He
what
was trying to
going
find
on.
something.
Yeah,
He was
and
definitely
also-
running your tags and
all
all that.
that,
See what
yeah.
was gonna come up.
And that's why I don't understand why you ask for my license and registration when you already got all that before you got out the car, man.
Yeah. I guess they want to charge you for something else, like for not having it if you don't
Right,
have it.
if you don't have it, yeah, and they can do that, which is stupid when they can
But
see
the
it.
way the laws are set up now, there's no way you can't legally drive a car from one block to another. You're gonna break some kind of law.
At this
The way
point.
they got it, the way
At
it's
this
set
point.
up.
And my second ticket came at 11:30 p.m. Coming from what's that? Little on New York Avenue, it's little 24-hour food place, red, white. I can see it. Checkers, is that
Yeah,
it?
yeah.
Checkers,
Checkers,
yeah,
yeah,
with the
yeah,
Checkers.
yeah.
A police officer was behind me at the Checkers, did nothing. I'm pulling out, driving down. This is a Friday night. And the dude was coming my way. He sees me, he turns around and pulls me over. And he's like, yeah, is your headlight out? No, my headlight's not out. Then he said, then he gave me a ticket for my tag being bent. And he gave me a $50 ticket because I was
For
just
your
like,
license plate being
yeah, but he pulled me over
That's
for my
ridiculous.
my tag, my headlight being out, but my headlight wasn't out. And then he just found that my tag. He said my tag was obstructed. He's like, well, all you have to do is take a picture of it and send it into this number, and it's fine. If you know that, then why are we going through this, man?
That's just let me
So
tell
that-
you to do it and not give you a ticket. Like you don't have to give me a ticket.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
yo, what's the
And the only way that it would was it that they couldn't see the numbers?
He could see the numbers. He could see the
Right.
numbers, and there was a cop behind me at the checker. So if it was so blatant or so wrong, then The dude in the checkers would have said something.
Because I've had people pull me over back in the day. I used to have New York Giants, like license plates. So, the emblem would be on it. It would cover.
I would have pulled your
DC
ass over
just
too.
a little bit. So I was driving like that this is my old car, like literally for like 9 years in DC.
Right.
Out of the blue, this is covered up. You gotta take that off. I'm like, I've been driving for 10 years here. Like, you can't believe that.
They call those shit quality of life or stops and shit like that. They just fuck
harassment.
with you. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, that quality of life, like they fucking up the quality of your life.
Right. I mean, it's a DC plate.
Yeah,
right.
You can see the
top
numbers.
of the W is obstructed. I'm like, come on.
So. I had this one time, and I don't know if I told you guys this before. A worst encounter I had with the police was I was working at this is when I first got a job. This is a long time ago. Actually, it wasn't I first got a job. It was like my first ever place, like legit place. And looking back, it wasn't really that legit. It was like a basement apartment. You know how they make it sound fancy, an English basement and shit like that. That was basically somebody.
It was here in D.C.
It was in D.C.
Okay.
And, I had this job where I had to get up at maybe like 5 o'clock in the morning. I was like a program manager for like a homeless dining room and stuff like that. And we served breakfast, lunch. So I had to be there like around 5 o'clock to let the volunteers in so they can prepare the meal and shit, right? So I say that to say this, it was a long ass day. And I go after work near my house, I go to this place where I get some nice little jerk wangs, right? And I go inside and I go down towards my little English basement. And I must have ate the food and fell asleep, and I must have been tired because I ain't really closed my door. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I'm asleep and I wake up out of my sleep. I hear roof, 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 dog barking. And I also hear helicopters going. It was like, come on out, come on out. I was like, the fuck? I'm like in my underwear and shit, right? This true fucking story.
That's just sound crazy. Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I swear to God, this shit happened. I come out. I'm like, what the fuck going on? I come out. It's dark at this time. I'm in my underwear, and they was like, they told me to stand still and stuff like that. I was like, well, at least let me put something there. No, just come out. So apparently someone had robbed someone at gunpoint, right? And the person that they robbed was in the police car. And I'm out in the middle of the, not the street, but in the front of the building, in front of the place I was staying, like on the porch. And they shining a light in my face. And I was just thinking how, if this person even said it was remotely me in that car, how my life could have been vastly different. I could have got charged for some bullshit like robbing somebody at gunpoint and shit like that.
But you was in your house.
I was in the house. And the door was slightly open, right? Because it was a relatively quote unquote safe neighborhood, and I wasn't really thinking. I just shut the door, but I didn't shut it hard. So it sort of was like, kind of open. You know how it's cracking after a while, it gets open a little bit like that. And I woke up, and so they came in, I told them, and the person in the car was like, in the police car was like, it wasn't him. So I was still in my house, and they came in, they started searching. I was like, what y'all doing, man? It was like, do you live here? Is there anybody else here? I was like, nigga, you see that there's pictures of me on top of the TV. This was back when TVs had a top.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm going to break into somebody else's house and put pictures up of myself, put my diploma up, nigga, put my wallet up. You know what I'm saying? And I can remember, and they just was.
What was the reason for searching if you ain't do it? I don't get that.
Exactly. So he was like, he gave me some bullshit excuse. He was like, did you walk a certain way? I was like, yeah. It was like, well, the dog smelled you and led us all the way here. I was like, nigga, I'm going. I mean, what you mean? Did I walk a certain way? I was coming to my house. So regardless of if I was at a certain spot, and
Right.
I understood that. So not yesterday. So the next day, I tell my boss how I was feeling, and and she, it was sort of like I was reliving the trauma and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And she was like, "Look, you need to go to that police station and say something to them and how you feel and how that made you feel, because they just came in my fucking house and left and ransacked shit and left,
Right.
like they was looking for somebody." So I go to the police station, right? And before I can even say anything, you ever been so pissed off and emotional and shit just was like, I couldn't even say anything, right? So I told her, whatever, I think she was like a desk sergeant. I told her, she took me in another room and she told me to just calm down, and because I was like highly emotional and shit like that. And I can remember, and I kept saying this to her. I was like, my whole life could have changed at that moment. If that person was so scared and could have said that was me, how different my life would have been, how my life could have been affected and shit like that. So yeah, that's like the worst encounter I had with the police and stuff like that. And I will never forget that shit. That shit is...
Sound bad.
Yeah, man, that shit was... And this was... Yeah, I can... Yeah, that shit...
How old was you when that took place?
So, we're talking about... I couldn't have been no more than 26 years old. Maybe 25 at the most. So, it's not like I never had encounters with the police before. Right. But they were passive. You know, the same shit like tickets and shit like that. But this is the first time that, like, if a person said I look similar to a person, how, like, I mean, after a while, you start, when you're in your mid-20s and stuff like that, you start thinking about your life then.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You start thinking about how all the things that you want to do, and I want to stack my chips, I want to get this, I want to get that, I want to get, you know what I'm saying? And I think what happened was, yeah, I mean, that shit just, I just kept thinking about how my life could have been drastically different, or how my life could have changed at that moment. That's what I was thinking at that time.
Right.
And I think when we get pulled over and shit like that, how our life could change. I mean, they don't know you got a kid and stuff like that. How they think they just pulling over some random person, but they don't know that you got a family that you got to support, and how, because they need some fucking stats, they can change your life in an instant. And that shit just makes me so uncomfortable. Anyway.
Well, for me, I think with everything that's going on, I do become a lot heightened. Like when I see a police officer behind me for a long period of time, because now you see what the results can be. Yeah. You know what I mean? You might not have a weapon, you might not have, but just whatever the perception is of you at that moment, especially like Virginia.
Yeah.
Like I got pulled over in Virginia one time leaving my part-time job. I was leaving there at midnight, and I'm turning the corner, he comes behind me. One of them got me for the license plate.
Following you for about 15 minutes.
And he came up, he actually didn't give me a ticket. But my heart was beating so fast.
I want to see you squirm. That's what they like doing.
I was on the phone with a relative. I was like, listen, like, I'm going to keep you on the phone. Because, it's dark. Ain't no one, like, anything can happen. So just, I don't know why I'm getting pulled over.
Right.
Just stay on the phone just in case. You know what I mean? He wound up not giving me a ticket, telling me why, and I was like, all right, good. But, my heart, I'd never been, like, so nervous. I'm like, this is a real vulnerable position right here. Mm-hmm. He's coming, place of power. I don't know why he's pulling me over. I'm just getting out of work. My eyes is all, I worked a 8-hour shift. Now I went to work there until 12.
So you're looking crazy.
So I'm tired. Like, I just want to get home right now. And I got pulled over. So I think that's the difference, like, nowadays. Whereas back in the day, you had interaction with the police, but now you're seeing interaction
Yeah.
like almost daily. If you open up
Yes.
Instagram,
Yes.
daily you're seeing something happen negative with the police.
And then the sad thing about it is that our legislators and politicians are support. I mean, the politicians that we have in place right now, they're pro-police and they support that shit.
Everybody's pro police. This is what I was thinking the other day, man.
Everybody.
And I think it's very popular to be pro police, but I feel like, and I was wondering why this hadn't happened. It'll probably get people killed. Like they got a police union. They need to form not a anti-police union, but somebody to just challenge the union, because the union blindly supports
Like it's
every officer. Like a police officer could walk in here right now and shoot us 3, and they're like, "Well, we haven't gotten all the facts yet." Like, dog, we don't need no more facts.
yeah.
we was sitting
got it
there
on tape.
armless, unarmed.
D.L. Hughley said this. He was like, "Look, if they have you on tape doing something, that's case closed.
It
Your
don't
ass
need-
going to jail."
Right.
And the police
Right.
could be on tape doing shit, and they still
But-
we still
yeah.
need this all the facts.
Speaking of that, did y'all see what happened in where was it at?
DC, the dude just
No,
got pushed
no,
from
no.
DC.
There was I forgot where, but the cop pulls up. The guy's on his property in front of his building.
Yeah, I saw
Picking
that.
up trash.
Goes up to him and says he got a warrant in another state.
Oh, yeah, I saw
and
that
the person
too.
didn't even look like
And the
him.
girlfriend was like,
And
he
she
don't
was
even
shaking
live
him.
here.
Right,
He don't
she-
live in
and she was
Louisiana.
like, right, that's not his name, because he was like, "Who am I?" The guy kept saying, "I know who you are. I know who you
Come
are."
on, Lawrence, or whoever it was
Right.
the wrong name.
And
Yeah.
he was trying to get him to go to his car, and the guy was like, "Nah, I'm not going to your car, because once you get in the car, once you get handcuffed and get in
Yeah.
the car,
You going to jail.
That's
jail.
it.
It don't matter. They're going to clear it up at the jailhouse.
But I was like thankful, like it didn't get worse, because it definitely could have. So another cop pulled up. They go, the guy shows him the picture, and he's like, "Damn, that don't look like me." Like basically, the guy, they didn't show the picture of the other guy.
He's
But he
probably
was
a
like, he
light
just-
skinned nigga.
No, he
with-
said the only difference is that he had dreads.
Wow.
Like they both had dreads, and
Oh,
that was
wow.
that.
Wow.
But the guy was so sure that was him.
Yeah.
And what would have happened if he didn't put up a fight?
Or if he would have got
handcuffed,
scared and ran, he'd have got shot.
He got shot, and it wouldn't have even been him. Or you'd have had to go through the ring. Now you have to prove. Now once you locked up and you in jail, you have to prove that
Innocent.
that's not you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
And that takes
you know,
a long ass time. You might even have to go to court.
You
might
gotta
have
wait
to
for trial.
And you might have to wait 2 months or 3 months just to
Yeah.
get your court date.
Time lost. Job lost.
But
Yeah.
just going up. But the funny thing is, I mean, not funny, but I'm watching it, and I said the problem is another police officer pulls
They
up,
be watching that stuff, man.
and then they immediately no one says, "Well, hold up, like
What's
let's,
going
like,
on?
Right?
Yeah.
Like, let me look at that.
That's
No,
what law
not
enforcement
him.
is supposed
That's
to
not
do.
him.
Nah, they
Once
coming
again,
in.
I go back. You're a licensed social worker. Mm-hmm. If you go up on the scene and see a social worker doing something wrong,
Hey,
to a
what's going
client,
on?
Unethical. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna intervene. Like, hey, guys, what's going on?
Right,
Why are y'all yelling?
Right.
It's a
This
way
is the
you can-
social
yeah.
worker thing where I gotta stick by the social worker, because that
Like,
could be
yeah,
your
that's
license,
right.
That's
Yeah.
their license.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Same thing with me as an addiction professional. If someone's doing something wrong to a client, I have an obligation
Exactly.
to report that.
You ain't gonna be like, go ahead and jump. You smoke crack, don't you?
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Or I see someone
And there's a
abusing
way,
client, I'm not gonna say
but see,
nothing.
here's
Right.
the thing: there's a way you can have a person, even if you like me and you, addiction professionals, right? And I see you doing something that's not unethical, but there can lead to a misunderstanding. There's a way I can speak to you and help you save face, and at the same time not hurt our client. I'll pull you away from them, like,
Right.
hey, Lean,
Right.
I think you may be missing a little bit more information and stuff
Right.
like this, blah, 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 blah. And then I'll let you go and clear that up.
Right.
I've done that as a supervisor before when
Yeah.
I see that things are getting
Come here,
too
bro. Let me
big.
just, yeah.
Like,
It
we're
ain't
like,
that
"Wait a minute,
serious.
we'll be right back. Take my staff out. Okay, let's do it. Or maybe I'll go back in and finish things up. Maybe I'll tell them, all right, this is what I'm seeing right now.
Right.
This is the angle, or this is the way that you need to go.
But it's just that blind-
Yeah.
Right. I'm just gonna co-sign whatever he's doing, even though, like, you know how much. If you get arrested, you know how much like it's gonna take.
You got to get a lawyer.
You know what I'm saying? For you to
Even if you're
undo
innocent.
And then it's
stuff.
going to be on your record, even if you are innocent.
Right.
So it ain't an easy thing just to be like, all right, let me just go down with you to the police
Right.
station.
Nah.
Your loved ones may never see you again. If that
Sandra
happened.
Bland.
Exactly.
Man, yeah.
Or you get convicted, and all of
Right.
a sudden,
Right.
20 years later, here you go,
And
you're
then,
getting free.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, talking about,
over
oh
something.
yeah, my bad, we arrested you wrongly.
Exactly.
So-
exactly.
Here's $500,000 for your
So
time.
watching
For
that was a
20
perfect
years.
example of like you in another state, you driving around,
Yeah.
like you probably seen this guy before, seen that picture, and thought you had it.
I got him.
Yeah.
I got him,
I
Chief.
know a guy that got dreads.
I
me
know
drive
him.
over there and get him.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that was just when I was
mean,
watching
it's-
that. I was
it's-
glad it turned out the way it
They
did.
Right.
they tell us you're innocent until proven guilty, but police officer, you're guilty. You have to prove
They
to
the
them
judge
that
and the
you're
jury,
innocent.
the judge and the jury,
You
man.
ever hear? I know when I was young, I used to hear this a lot. A lot of times I don't hear it recent, but when you hear a description that you fit,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying? How many times is it like,
Ah, dang.
white t-shirt, blue jeans, light skin, between
oh.
between five,
With a New York Knicks
you know,
hat on.
bet-
Yeah.
between 5'9" and 6'3".
Yeah.
You
They be
looking
doing
at
that on the
That's
news.
like half of motherfuckers in
You
DC.
looking at yourself like, yo, I better
That's-
get up in the house.
Yeah.
Man, they do that on the news for real. Like they be like have had on a black shirt and blue jeans. Like they ain't gonna change clothes, y'all. Come on now.
You know, the height, 6-7 inches.
Right.
So that could be me or you, P.
Anybody.
You know what I'm saying?
Anybody.
Between 5'10", 5'9", and 6'3".
Right. Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Between 170 and
Right.
250 pounds. Like, yo,
That's everybody.
So that ain't me.
Yeah.
I'm clear.
Almost. But I think that's the same thing I was thinking about. Like you talking about like just piling. I just feel like we all know that we see how like if me and a cop was into a fight, they gonna come in and they're gonna beat my behind, even if it's 3 or 4 cops on me already. It's like I don't understand that, man. It's like that's excessive use of force, man. And,
Well, let me tell you this. In Virginia, where I work, you teach a method called MANT. So that's non-lethal.
Right.
So it's a way
Right.
to to get someone under control without harming
yes,
them.
yes.
So
yeah.
there's techniques that
Yeah.
you can grab somebody up, ways to hold them.
Especially if it's 4 or 5 of y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's certain, when there's 2, there's a way to do it. When there's 3,
Exactly.
there's a way to do
Take
it.
them to the ground.
And I have to do this training every year.
Yep.
So how is it
I
so
know that
hard
feeling.
for a police officer, right,
Right.
3 or 4 of them, when a person's down, to stop them from moving without hitting them on
Right.
the head with something.
Right.
Or just beating them to a pulp.
Right.
Like it
Right.
gotta be.
Right.
And you talking about, when I'm talking about dealing with someone that's mentally ill. That's
Yeah.
Right.
And if y'all ever, y'all work with that type of population,
Oh, yeah.
yo, that's a scary situation.
Yeah.
Usually they strong. A lot
Right.
of times they can be bigger than you.
Right.
Like there's ways to take somebody down.
Yeah, usually they strong.
Not
But
But it's,
for
it's
real.
true. It's true.
but
though.
but
It's
strong meaning like, yo, you ever
And they
mess with
psychotic,
someone
they
who's
just won't go.
psychotic?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I
Somebody
mean by
psychotic
strong.
is.
Yeah.
They psychotic, so they trying to do whatever. Whatever they're trying to do,
They gonna
believe
do.
it. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So that's a different situation. Or someone that's on some type of drug, PCP, something
Yeah.
like that. So I can't believe that if I could do that working in Virginia, that the police officer who's
Right.
trained and this is what you do every day.
Lift weights. Work with a lot of people. Got all
do
kind of
it.
people with backup. Yeah, y'all just come in there throwing elbows and punches, like,
Right.
and I'm on the ground. So I think what they're doing is, like I said this before, like the systematic desensitization is what it is. It's like they're throwing so much at you, you can't even care. Because it reminded me of another black dude who was picking up trash in front of his yard. The dude was like, "Where do you live?" He's like, "I live right here. You want me to go in?" He's like, "No." He's like, "Show me your ID." He had a college ID. He's like, "Show me something with date of birth." Anyway. That escalated. He's like, "You about to tase me?" Anyway, so that's that story. He was about to get tased. He had some more people to come on there, and the cops did de-escalate it. After it could have gone bad for a while because he was like, "You have a weapon." He's like, "This is a thing I'm picking up trash with. How was this a weapon?" He was like, "I feel like it's a weapon." And then the cop was describing it as a metal object, but it was a trash picker upper.
Wow.
You know, like one of the
In
ones
his yard, too.
in his yard. That's what he's
yard.
saying. He had people in the house vouching for him, saying, "Yeah, he lives here." But the cop is still saying, "I need to see your date of birth." And the guy was like,
because at that point, it's an ego.
"It's a
thing.
power struggle."
power,
Yeah,
That's just all about.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I said.
I
want
said,
you
so-
to
yeah.
do this, so you're gonna do.
and
this.
he was like, "No, I'm not doing it." It was he ran across the right one. He's like, "You gonna shoot me, sir?" But anyway, another one like this is The dude in Alabama, 17-year-old kid. Did you see him? He got punched when he was handcuffed. It looked like Emmett Till. No, like
black woman shot, a pregnant black woman.
yeah,
shot,
like come on.
It's just too much.
They're doing all that, and it's like we got too much to even care about. It ain't nothing but one Al Sharpton. He can't go to all of these.
But also, I was thinking about this too, and I thought, what could we do about it? Like, does more of us, people who have sense, need to get in law enforcement? Like, do we need to be the cops, but not take on that mentality though? Like, what can we do? Like, should we become a part of the system so that we can change it?
So there have been times where people who are police officers said that they had to quit because they were shunned by their fellow police officers.
Or they get fired.
Yeah, or they get the
Jeffrey
there's this
Dahmer.
blue wall of silence.
Or is that because them two are the minority?
Right.
Like, if we start coming in droves and start becoming the majority,
right?
Could that happen? You know what I'm saying? Because now it's a bunch of us that's doing
right. You can't
really
kick out everybody.
I'm just thinking about everything that's going on, even with the politics and things like that. Like, it's almost like you got to be in it to win it. Yeah. Right? So if you want to change things, it's hard to change things from the outside.
Right.
It's hard to think things from just like marching. Cool. But being in the room to make these decisions, to write these laws, like, we really need to start training our youth to get into politics, to start being attorneys,
politics,
to start being there, so that we can.
I think it's all connected.
That change, you know what I'm saying?
I think with the marching comes the advocating, the advocacy, to answer your question, yes, everybody needs to be. Everybody, we need to train our children to be a part of.
Let's really take over, because what did they say in 2045? There's going to be some states that are. The minorities are going to be the majority. Yeah. Is it New York, California? It's a couple of other ones.
It's going to be. It was D.C., but
but it is which is something to say. Like, all right, so now once you start becoming the majority, you can really start implementing change. Because you know what I mean. So how do you strategically do that? You know what I mean. I thought
here's the thing, right? We have to always be vigilant and stuff like that because they know that too. That's why there's a lot of, what gerrymandering is, right? That's why there's a lot of gerrymandering going on. That's why there's, and because of the gerrymandering, folks are placing federal judges in certain places where they can pass these bills. I'm sure you guys heard about the abortion ban, right? Right. That's a result of people of gerrymandering districts and stuff like that, so people don't, because people are not allowed to, their vote don't really count, right? So,
but I think that I honestly think that all has something to do, like the abortion ban. Like, to me, it feels like the Republicans are great at like long-term planning.
Yes, they are.
Roe versus Wade.
So now it's like, all right, strategically got it. Now they have the Supreme Court justices to change the laws, to do like they're
so
thinking,
that was all long
like
term.
They got a long
The moment they realized they got a black president, that's when they started that 10-year plan to get to the point where we are now.
And it's like we have to start reversing that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, and I started thinking when the abortion ban in Alabama came through. Like, I know that these Republicans don't care about black babies dying. So what is it about? I started thinking, is it about like their population because they're becoming the minority?
Yeah.
That's a way to control things because we have babies. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
we don't
whether
really get
it's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we having babies. You go to these white schools, you don't think that these white girls is getting pregnant and having abortions in school and all that. Right. I think it's a deeper meaning behind that.
I can see that.
Like, we about to be like, I think that's how they think. Like, our country is being taken away from us.
Right.
And if we keep things like they are,
that's the reason why they voted Trump.
We will be and then they'll take over. which we can. So we have to start thinking like that too. Okay,
Right.
if we're going to be the majority, what can we do? What planning
And
can we
that's-
start right
that's-
now to start taking things over so that we don't have these police shootings.
Right.
Yeah.
The criminal justice system, we can finally make some
Right.
changes because we're the ones that's
Right.
making the decisions.
Right.
Black and brown people are making the decisions that are affecting us. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm thinking there's already been places where black people or brown people were a majority. But I think the thing that we need to have is like, I think you were hinting at, is like, we just need to make sure that we have like money. I think that's the bottom line. We can't just have a bunch of people that with no voice, no, like when you're saying the 2045 when it's going to be majority, people like the minority. That's cool as long as it's people that's making moves. You can't just be, because if you're not making moves, if you're not don't have money to like.
But also, like, for me, it's like, all right, but when you're the majority, you want to vote for the person that looks like you at that point, right? So you have the majority happening. You have people getting more into politics and being up there so you can vote for them. So it's like, I think like Black was saying, like, everything is kind of working together to create a certain system, right?
Yeah.
It ain't just, right, I'm the majority, but I'm still voting for someone who doesn't have my best interest at heart.
Right.
And these are my only choices. I'm never really going to get down to the nitty-gritty of what needs to change. So we need to have people getting into politics. We need to have it so we are voting for our people. We need to start being judges.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right.
Have more attorneys.
We just had
like,
one of the youngest black judges become a judge here recently.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think this shit. What's most frustrating for me is the Democratic Party. How loyal African Americans, black folk, whatever you want to call us, have been to this party, and all the shit that Donald Trump has done, right? It's warranted impeachment. I'm sorry, the wood got me. The wood got me. All the stuff that he's done, it warranted impeachment. They don't want to impeach him because they're afraid that it will mess up. It'll mess up their chances of winning his supporters, right? So again, they focus more on trying to win their supporters to the point where what you're not going to do. Right. To the point where you're so busy trying to win his appointers, his supporters, that you don't think about all the voter suppression laws that they did that got us to this point where the Voting Rights Act was gutted, the Affordable Health Care Act was gutted, and now abortion laws are starting to take shape, and the Supreme Court is stacked against you. But you're still focused on trying to win those voters, and
they're playing chess. We playing checkers.
Right. It's a whole other game.
It's a different game.
You know
The moment President Obama got elected, Boehner and the rest of the Republican Party set out a motion. You know, we gonna make sure that this never happens again. A nigga not get elected again. We gonna do everything.
They hooded up.
Yeah.
Let's hood up.
Yeah.
Right, so we need to start working together and figuring out our 20-year plan.
Exactly.
And what we gonna do in the next 20? Because
We just need to go back to Ghana, man. They said go back to Africa. I'm with them, man. Let's go to Ghana, man. Forget this place. I know that's a simple, stupid
Never in the
response.
history have we had a president that just
need to go there.
defy, you know, the other branches of government.
Well, here's the funny part about it.
Defy
I
it.
think the media, like everyone, I don't buy anything. Like you could be out there. I think it's just all for ratings.
Everything,
like out
yeah,
there
man.
talking about it, but no one's actually doing anything.
Don't nobody care.
Right,
Don't
right.
nobody care.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, it's all big business. Like
Don't nobody care.
you sitting there and you telling me that he done did 20,000 lies,
Right.
but ain't nobody calling him
Right,
out at the moment.
and you ain't
Exactly.
impeached. Yeah. It's like they do stroke you. They stroke like Fox strokes they people, and we get stroked by NBC.
Right.
Yeah.
And it
Yeah,
feels
yeah,
good.
yeah,
like
yeah, he's lying,
that is fair. I mean,
But you broadcast them every day.
yeah.
And
You
what's
put on
happening?
people that tell blatant lies. You put on people that deny that deny the existence or deny the rights of people of color. But let a person deny or disrespect the media, you would never have them on their show. So the same way you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
But just back to the debate, I think that it's just on a basic level, like to try to determine what a woman could do.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And to having a law that, well, first of all, to hear a heartbeat, like a lot of women, and y'all know, I mean, we all have kids.
Yeah.
A lot of times, did your lady know she was pregnant in 6 weeks?
Nah,
Like,
and you don't hit a heartbeat till I thought it was a while, not the 6
But
weeks.
you may not know that
That you're pregnant.
you might go in the first appointment, you might see the heartbeat during the first appointment when you find out. So that means it's already too late.
Yeah.
Right.
When you go for your
How?
first appointment.
Right.
So
Right.
how can that
But
be
that
a part of it?
But that's by design, though.
Right. No.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like the craziness of it, the fact that incest and rape,
Right.
Yeah, man. You expect a woman to carry that?
you know, like just on a basic level, and just telling a woman what to do, and that you have certain like.
And the punishment behind it.
Yeah.
You talking about it's a
See,
felony? If I found out you go to another state, it's a felony.
Yeah. So what they're basically saying is the person that she get more time than the person that actually raped her.
But I thought, was it the
Right.
woman or was it the doctor?
The doctor, I
Okay,
think the
the
doctor
doctor
get like
get
70.
99 years.
Oh, I thought it was 70. Yeah, they get a lot of years thrown at
And
them.
lose their license. It's going to be a hard thing to
For
enforce
women-
because they have to be out there enforcing this. But just the fact that type of law that you would have,
But they gonna
people
find
that
other
have
ways,
that type
though.
of law
And it's funny.
to
They all
pass it is crazy.
They're gonna find another
always-
diagnosis, and they're gonna give them this treatment for that diagnosis. Because I know some of the stuff that causes abortion is like a cancer drug. So they're gonna diagnose you with fake cancers or they're gonna figure out a way to still do it, which is just not gonna be as good.
or healthy or
Because you can't follow up for abortions if if somebody. I guess
But
you
also,
could.
someone that has money can go ahead and go to a state
Right.
that's
Yeah.
cool. But then the people who
people
don't,
Yeah.
Right.
are gonna be the ones that's gonna be stuck. Like
Right.
the well-to-do is always gonna find a way out.
And
Right.
that party always talks about how they want small government, limited government, except when it comes to telling women when they can
And
have
I
babies.
guess like what it is like I guess because I was thinking how would they know? I guess if I got somebody pregnant, I wanted them to have the baby, and I knew that they were pregnant, and then they came back and they didn't have a baby. That would be the only way. But then you'd have to prove that they actually had an abortion. You'd have to prove that they were pregnant, and all that stuff is like hard to prove.
Find out where. I mean,
So I think it's like it's
So
crazy
what did I tell
too.
you? That's more about control than actual.
And fear, man.
Yeah.
They trying to control you through fear.
it's fear,
Exactly.
right?
Yeah, I'll give you
Exactly.
99 years and it's a felony.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people, right? So there's a lot of doctors going to say, I cannot do that, right? Because
Right,
can't
I don't
risk
wanna
it
lose
as
my
much,
license.
even if it would be hard for them to catch me doing it, I still don't
I
want
don't
to
want
risk
to risk
it.
it's too, yeah.
And you have a woman that's going to be like, right, I
And
don't
do you
want,
know how
I don't
much
want to
it
go through
costs?
all that.
Like, a person can go to, like, say for instance, they go to D.C. You know how much it costs from Alabama to D.C.? I mean, they trying to put a financial heart. They trying to make it as difficult as possible. And only certain people can get abortions.
And talk about trash about like people on welfare or whatever. What if they don't want to bring their child into a impoverished home?
Exactly.
Right, everyone, I mean, that's all a personal
Right.
decision that someone has to make.
Right.
And it shouldn't be,
And it should be their decision.
yeah, not by the
Yeah.
government. The
Yeah.
government shouldn't, and you, again, you want to take a harm reduction approach. That's what
Exactly.
Roe v. Wade is.
Right.
They made
Exactly.
it so where women, because before, I mean, this was before any of us were born, before women, they would have to
Coat
go
hangers.
to coat hangers and back alleys and stuff like that. It
Yeah.
wasn't safe for them.
Because it's still going to
We
happen.
as a
That's the thing.
society-
You're not going
yeah,
to stop it from
exactly.
happening. That's the thing that you just not. I
So
don't know.
exactly. So what you do is you reduce the harm around it.
Right.
Right.
I mean, because that's a tough decision for any woman to make.
And I know I find
And
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, it's a tough decision, and we as a society need to be more supportive of that.
Right, because I feel like I was looking at Hayes and I'm like, man, like a wonderful wonder. It's a wonder for him to be here. Like, how could anybody want to abort? But at the same time, I know that it's like I'm in a good place. You know, I'm in a place where I can take care of him because I can only imagine if I didn't have a job and he was crying and I couldn't feed him.
If you was
19.
If you was 18. If
Yeah.
you was just not, or you might have
school.
had a lot of kids and you are struggling to
Right
barely
now.
to feed them.
Right.
Could you even bring another child in to and take care of that child the way that you are able?
Right. Or I'm terminally ill. I know I'm not gonna be around. I don't want to be. I don't
Or
want to.
if you just don't want to have a fucking child at the time. It
I mean, it
should-
could be
I mean,
that you don't want to have a child with
Yeah.
the person. Like that's
Right.
important too.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, it was
I
a
mean, because
mistake, it
I think the
wasn't.
key thing is choice. You taking the choice away from people. That'd be like us having limits on the number of children that we have before we get our shit snipped.
Right.
You know what I'm
right,
saying? Like
right.
you can only have 2 children. Anything after 2 children.
That's what I thought about that craziness too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What you know?
So I'm like, where does it stop? Like, where does it stop?
What was crazy though, when you think about it, is like you got some people that are so pro life, but yet you good with guns and not having
Exactly.
a gun ban.
And what guns do?
Yeah.
But kill.
Like, how can you be on opposite ends
Right.
of that
Right.
argument?
Right.
Or you okay with the death penalty?
Yeah, like I
You
don't,
know what I mean?
right, I
You
don't
pro-life,
right.
but
Oh, they want to be God.
yeah, but I want to execute.
You want to
people.
kill and bring life into the
fuck?
world?
Right.
Come on, man.
Like,
You
I don't
can't have
have
it
to
both
make
ways.
sense. I just want what I want.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I want this. I believe in this, and that's how I want it. And that's why we have to start changing that dynamic. We
No
got to get some
bullshit.
people.
Listen,
in there.
if you don't like
We gotta
abortions,
take over.
guess what? Don't have one.
Right.
But you
Right.
can't stop a person from having it.
That's like, yeah, man. That's like it's kind of like for me, like the gay argument. Like, if it's not involving you, why are you so involved?
Right. Why do
Exactly.
you care?
Yeah.
Why do you care what's going on?
Yeah, like if those are my
Exactly.
values is I'm not gonna have an abortion. That's my values, and that's the way I'm gonna live. That's where I'm gonna teach my kids to live.
Right.
But you know, you can't tell me I don't think that you should have kids and you shouldn't have kids. And I mean, because like it's about to be like, yeah, you need to have a hysterectomy. It's about to come to that. Look at her.
You know what I'm saying? This shit is turned into the Handmaid's Tale.
I
right
mean,
before
they about
our
to
eyes.
start just taking anything, man.
Shoot. NBA playoffs, man. That's a hell of a segue from
Yeah,
abortion
man.
to the NBA playoffs, but
I mean,
we got a show to do, right?
they might be shooting in the gym. Whatever.
So listen, last week
It's been exciting.
it's been exciting.
Yeah.
And last week we sort of did our predictions and stuff like that. Look, I was wrong. I thought Boston was gonna be there. And Milwaukee showed their ass off.
Tupicapinko.
What he said.
Tampinko.
Honestly, I just think I can't wrap my mind around Milwaukee. Like
Right.
in basketball, like I don't think I've ever like.
They haven't been good since what? Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was there.
Dwayne Wade at Marquette.
Hey,
There we go.
hey, hey.
Milwaukee, but like I wouldn't
Even
think
better.
about it. But then again, I thought about it and I said, man, this is like I love this about the NBA. You
Yeah.
got 2 new teams.
Right.
There's one of
Right.
them, a new team is gonna
So,
make it.
so what you're saying is the NBA is just as good, even if New
I ain't
York
say
was
that.
winning.
I ain't say that. What I'm saying is now you add New York to that. Mix.
Oh,
Right. It's right.
It's a
Right.
wrap.
Come on, man.
But I love the fact that there's new teams up in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It definitely helped LeBron going over to the West.
Right. He cleared up the
Yeah.
East. He cleared the East up.
But I think
But
he would
also it
have.
give you time to watch a lot of these young guys shot, like
Giannis.
Kawhi, like
Yeah.
Do y'all see any new potential like dynasties coming from these groups, or you think it's still kind of like a
I think
one-man band situation?
I think
I
if
don't think Kawhi gonna stay in
No,
Toronto. They
no.
talking about him possibly going to the Clippers, which is gonna be crazy because now the West, like
No, the West gonna be
the
heavy,
West is gonna be like,
heavy,
God damn.
heavy.
I think it's a possibility if I think the 76ers could have a dynasty. They're just still a little young. If Ben Simmons develop an outside shot, they're gonna be dangerous.
Do they have a lot of long contracts over there?
Huh?
They got a lot of long time contracts with
I mean, they got
think
a lot of young
them are
players.
so
Okay.
I think they're gonna have to see in the next couple of years who they could keep.
Yeah.
Like who the team's gonna be, and if they keep certain guys like Jimmy Butler, is he gonna be a long?
I don't think he's gonna be part of their long term plans, but I
Right.
think they got some. I think with Embiid and Ben Simmons, I think they got a. That's their.
If Ben Simmons turns into the player that
Yeah.
we think he,
Because
could
he
be, because he may not.
It's so weird, right? There are two stars in that in the West. I mean, in the Eastern Conference that are on the up. That's Giannis and Ben Simmons, and they see, and one of them lifted up their game, and the
Right.
other one just sort of
Fizzled out.
exactly.
I was talking to my man about this during the week, and I thought like when Ben Simmons came in, and I hate that I the one thing I hate is when guys come in and immediately they start comparing him to other people.
Did they compare
6'9", handle, Magic. Allow him to be Ben Simmons, right? He's not going to live up to Magic. So now,
Not in the first couple of years.
right? So now, regardless of what he does, it
he
may
ain't
always
Magic,
be looking
yeah.
right. It may always look like he's not as good as
Right.
he should be with. That's him.
Right, right,
And Ben
right.
Simmons is a good player.
Yeah,
He
but he
just-
may just be Ben
That's what
Simmons,
he is
right?
right now, right.
He's just
That-
in the-
that's his game.
Yeah.
Respect it.
He's
Yeah.
just in a league that if you're a point guard, you got to have some sort of outside shot. He just haven't developed that yet. Now, if he's not Carmelo, he will develop that outside shot. And what I mean by
outside shot.
no, I'm talking about develop. I mean, Carmelo didn't develop his game. If he's, if he, he's young enough where he can develop an outside shot. I don't see Ben Simmons staying the same, but I think my man about to have some problems right there, right?
Man.
Yeah, I think Ben Simmons just needs to develop an outside shot. He needs to continue to work on his game. Joel Embiid, he's a big guy. I think he needs to just stay healthy. He has a chance to be one of the greats.
Right.
Philadelphia has a chance to be a dynasty. Now, if Milwaukee gets some more players other than Giannis, because I don't know if they win it this year, I don't know if they can stay a dynasty because they just have him and just a bunch of a bunch of players that are okay now, but as time go on, like next year, they probably won't be as good as they are now,
Right.
or on the decline.
But also, if Durant comes to the East, that shifts. That
shifts it
shifts
a
things,
lot.
and now you got arguably the best player coming over there.
Mm-hmm.
If he joined force with Kyrie or somebody else, like that just shifts the dynamic
You got
of
to,
things.
you got to match up with them too.
And even in the West, I mean, if Durant
Denver's gonna be good.
leave Golden State,
That's gonna
Golden
be
State's
good.
still a good team.
It's
Yeah.
gonna leave a dent in their
But
little-
it's
Oh,
Houston
right.
and Denver that's caught up with the
Right,
caught
but
up
now
with
you
Golden
have
State.
some competition. You got the
Yeah.
Lakers who possibly can get some people that
Yeah,
can still be
and
good.
Anthony
LeBron
Davis.
is still doing this thing. So I think that'll be fun to watch, man. It's interesting, but I don't know if I see another dynasty right like after Golden State. If someone dethrones them, I don't see. I think that they'll kind of still be
Yeah.
somewhat the favorites. You know what I mean? But
I
I'm
think-
not so sure that like
You say
Clay
they're the
will
last
stay.
dynasty for this era right now?
No. I think for a time, like I don't foresee another dynasty right now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like in the next
I
couple
got
of
you.
years, like if they don't win this year, Milwaukee
Yeah,
beats you
and
this year, let's say.
I
I
agree.
think they'll still be good, but there'll be a lot of like I said, Denver is a shock.
Yeah.
You know,
I
Portland,
agree with you.
know
I don't
what
because
mean?
I don't see another person stepping up to help Giannis out. And usually there's that number 2 that's like a superstar as well.
and that
Not-
solidifies
yeah.
it right there.
Yeah, like
Scottie
Golden
Pippen.
State. Exactly. Who is
Yeah.
Giannis? Scotty. So
Yeah.
And I don't know if still, even if they win, if people's gonna be jumping over tables to go play in Milwaukee.
yeah.
Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Even if they do, it might be
Cold
that
as
one
a
and done
motherfucker.
type thing.
Right. And
So
my other question, I guess, do you think the NBA benefits from having dynasties, or do you think it hurts them?
I think with this new Golden State era, and it sort of benefited them because that everybody in the team, especially in the West, everybody scrambled to try to
Making moves
to catch up with them.
Yeah.
And out of that, you got teams like
LeBron moved.
well, exactly.
I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
You
Go
gotta
ahead.
you got teams
LeBron
like
did
Houston.
the first kind of with Miami.
Yeah.
He created a dynasty.
Yeah.
there.
And
they
that-
won how many in 1-2. So
Yeah.
so they started it off. But the thing is, they've always been dynasties, right?
Yeah.
You go back Lakers
To Boston.
Right.
Chicago,
Right.
Like this.
And
Always
dynasties
been,
are good because it
yeah.
forces other teams to try to compete. And
Right,
as a
right.
result of this most recent dynasty, you got Houston.
Right.
You know, the emergence of James Harden.
Yeah.
You got Denver, a young team. You got Philadelphia, who the process. who-
Right.
They're not great yet, and you get Milwaukee.
And I'm just thinking about the dynasties. They all kind of had their own character if you think about it. Like you got the Bulls.
Yeah.
They were like I guess the kind of finesse. Then you had the Detroit. They were the knockouts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was
And
yeah.
Golden State, it's all about. I mean,
They the shooting. They shoot.
yeah,
They changed the game with
they
that.
went away from
Even
hero
though,
ball.
Did y'all see that game against that team can ball?
Who?
Like their defense,
Who,
they Golden
yeah.
State.
Yeah.
Defensively, they shut them boys down. Like,
Yeah.
It's like when they was down, it was like, all right, we gonna put it on.
Yeah.
They reminded me in that way of the Chicago Bulls, where it was like, all right,
Them boys, yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
if they're down,
Yeah.
all right, that's it. Like
And
it
go
was
on
a
a
comeback.
13-0 run like
was
nothing.
surprising.
they can almost call
In
it
3
and
minutes,
say-
yeah.
But that's the reason why I like them without Durant.
Look at that. They making a
Because
run now.
then because
As we
then
speak.
it becomes like a challenge though. Like if Durant was there, they probably would never been down by 17. Now they just so good of a team. So that's the only issue I have with like Durant going there. It's like
Right.
I
you
mean,
made it easy now.
I wasn't never mad at it though.
Iguodala, Clay, and Draymond.
I'm a dynasty. I like
Defense.
dynasties.
I mean that.
And
Draymond
even
right
Steph
now.
plays good defense with
Yeah.
like on the help out.
Yeah, right now, Draymond Green plays defense like he's a middle linebacker. And what I mean by that, he's always pointing and making sure people are in the right spots, making sure on the fast break defense, making sure people they know who their assignments
Well, when I
are.
watched them, I also said they play like a team. Like Draymond has that toughness
Yeah, he
that we
plays.
look for in the back in the day team.
Yeah.
So they got that. So they're not just this all finesse.
And P, I can help you make
Clay
the
got a
connection.
little grittiness in him too.
Yeah, I can help you make the connection. Draymond Green plays defense like Ray Lewis played defense, if that makes sense.
I got you. I got
See
you.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, he makes sure everybody
And make the team,
Yes.
make the team put the team on the same page.
Yeah, exactly. Like, so I'm looking forward to. I can't wait to see who wins this. These final two forwards. I can't wait to see who's going to the finals. I think it's going to be good. I think Golden State and Milwaukee, two mid-market teams that let us know that the NBA is good without a major market. Like I don't know the New York Knicks.
I think Seth Curry. I think it'll be Seth Curry, man. Dude balling.
Well, don't have much of a positive quote today because my computer died on me.
Dang. Well, if at first you don't succeed,
Try again.
there we go.
For Sean P,
Yeah.
for Lean,
What up?
you've been listening to Straight from the Horse's Mouth podcast. Have fun.
It's all good, baby. It's all good, baby. Everybody got it for the low now. Gossiping, niggas got the low down. We move around like we Greyhound. You only feel comfortable, stay down. Everybody got it for the low now. Gossiping, niggas got the low down. We move around like we Greyhound. You only feel comfortable, stay bound. Everybody got it for the low now. Gossiping, niggas got the low down. We move around like we Greyhound. edible treats, and a weed pack. Drop my new single, do y'all retweet that? Alexa's voice, I'm always speaking facts. Can't say I act funny style, only thing changed, I'm getting money off music now. Go laugh, say it's like change, send it to kids in Africa, this a life change. We winning 666 dice game. Y'all talk money into the price came. Got it for the low, rice cakes. I'm doing shit different. My nose all in medical business. Yellow traffic light had to slow down a minute. Everybody got it for the low now. Gossiping niggas got the low down. We move around like we Greyhound. You only feel comfortable, stay bound. Everybody got it for the low now. Gossiping niggas got the low down. We move around like we Greyhound. You only feel comfortable, stay bound. Hey yo, when I'm in that kitchen, badass kids the way I'm whipping. You think car talk when the candy dripping, but there's no paint. So much fumes from the weed I could almost faint. That's that bake talk. Damn, that shit nice and moist, K. That's that cake talk. Nickname K Earthy. My product have you sleeping early. Just had a state in New Jersey. I be moving across the tri-state. Exit here. You wanna try some cake? Got plans, you be some hours late. Get text, I can't feel my legs. I'm floating, K. Reply back, how many that you ate? Everybody got it for the low now. Gossiping niggas got the low down. We move around like we Greyhound. You only feel comfortable, stay bound. Everybody got it for the low now. Gossiping niggas got the low down. We move around like we Greyhound. You only feel comfortable, stay bound.
The views on Straight from the Horse's Mouth podcast do not represent any of our advertisers unless they like it.